All right. So, hi, my name is Heather Bullock, and I am your star director of Legacy Sense. I wanted to first congratulate you on such an amazing promotion. I remember when I first promoted to director, I was literally in tears. I know, like, it's that big promotion. Number one, I want you to realize that it's not the end of the world if you don't hit your 10,000 mark again next month. It's actually completely normal. Now, maybe you soar over that 10,000 mark again and again, and you never fall off from it. In which case, congratulations. That was not my story. I think I fell off. I would hit it and I'd fall off, and I'd hit it and I'd fall off. And then it wasn't until 2000, 2 years, about 2 years it took me to hit my numbers consistently for like 3 months in a row. And it was actually August of 2016, the same month my son was born. And from that point forward, I never stopped hitting my numbers. And now I'm a star director and we still hit our numbers. So it's okay if you have a moment to before you really fit into those shoes, but just realize that you're creating the framework of a really strong foundation, and it's a big deal that you're here. And so, regardless, congrats. Okay. So, the first thing that I really wanted to go over with you was that we have a list on our resources tab on your workstation. And that list is really good because it's going to give you the names that have already been taken, so that when you go and email Scentsy accounts or account services at Scentsy.com, you will be able to send them a team name that it has not been taken yet, or whatever. But regardless, that's the first thing you need to do is decide what your team name is going to be and then send in that request to account services, mainly because there's other people who are promoted to director and you don't want them to have the same idea for a team name as you. Okay, so definitely that is number one on your list that you're going to want to do. The next thing, I have my own little list. The next thing that you're going to do is make sure that you're on the official Scentsy director page on Facebook. Your director or sponsor, myself, someone should have already added you to it. If not, please reach out to me and let me know, or reach out to your director and ask them to add to that page. Since you're a director, you're definitely allowed to be on that page. Now, do you have to get on that page and post? No. Do you have to utilize the page at all? No. But again, it is a resource, so why not be attached to it, right? And then we also have our SSD's Facebook page for directors. It's called Directors on the Journey. And so that's Chloe Cox's page. When I promote to Superstar Director, we'll have our own director page. But until then, we are definitely going to be thankful that we can be on that page. Try and give more than you take. And there's a ton of resources out there on that page as well for you to utilize. Again, there are so many different ways to run this business. The best way to do it is going to be whatever is working for you. Okay. And sometimes that's trial by error. You may already have it figured out, in which case, awesome. Okay. And then we also have my team page. As a director, you are totally allowed to go in on that page and utilize anything that I post on there. Or anything another consultant posts. It's just a good way to kind of like have a bunch of different ideas for what you want to do with your team and what you want to do on your team page. It doesn't mean you need to do exactly how this person is doing it. Not by any means. It's only there to inspire, not to require. Okay. And then every single Monday, we have a director Zoom that Scentsy does. Again, this is another awesome resource for you to really stay in the loop on what's coming, what's happening, and get some awesome trainings from newer director, like newly promoted star directors, superstar directors, or seasoned directors, or just seasoned consultants in general. So definitely make sure you're joining those. No, they can't see you and they can't hear you. There is a chat box. And so you can use that to really just educate yourself and stay in the know. Honestly, it motivates me and inspires me on different ways that I can be working my business, especially when you get in a funk. Okay, so now the big thing, if you're not doing already, is team postcards. Do you have to do team postcards? No, not at all. But I will tell you that a majority of directors and above who have success in their business and with their teams do team postcards. And they do that because they're rewarding what they want repeated. Okay, so you'll hear that time and time again in this business is reward what you want repeated, or the impact of positive, you have to hear it all the time, positive behavior or whatever. I can't think of the word, but basically, if someone's getting 500 PRV, reward that by shouting them out or sending them an email or sending them a personal text, or somebody starts sponsoring anything that you see someone do that you want to continue to be repeated. Find a way to reward that person by either shouting them out. There's so many different free ways you can do it, like I just said, with emails and just posting on your team page, whatever. But you definitely want to try and get yourself up to a system, so that you can be sending postcards. And so those can look a lot of different ways. And I probably will have a whole other training for that. And then we also have one-on-one trainings. Again, this will be another training. This is mainly just like a overall guide for you. One-on-one training. So we like to use Calendarly, which is an awesome way for you to really set up that one-on-one call, and it makes it super professional, which will definitely make it so that less people stop. You don't get canceled as much, right? Because they feel bad because there's really no excuse unless they just chicken out. And then you also have team Zooms. And so Zoom does cost, and so does Calendly. These are things that you can build up to have eventually. You do not need to have them from the start. I highly suggest that you work your business in a way that you can get to where you can afford that expense in your business. Zoom is really good because it's reliable. A lot of people are already familiar with it, especially given the pandemic and stuff, and it records it for you. And above all else, you have probably used it a lot, and so you probably already know how to use it. So why recreate the wheel and trying to re-navigate through a whole other thing? It's priced it's not overly priced. So highly suggest it for now. Again, things change. There might be something out there better one day. And then also YouTube channels. I know that you probably have watched a lot of YouTube channels in your business. I know that when I was especially a newer consultant, I would, any downtime that I had, I was watching some type of training. And that really, like I said, it really just inspires you to find something in that with how it can resonate with how you are working your business and how you can make your business better and share with your team more and help inspire that same kind of domino effect. So it doesn't mean that you have to go out and get fancy and start coming up with content to post on your YouTube channel. One of the major things that a lot of leaders say that they do that I can definitely testify to is just share what you're already doing. Okay, so if you go live on your team page with how you are making samples, you can save that video to your phone and you can upload it to your YouTube channel. If you do a team training on sponsoring, you can record it just like I'm doing right now and then upload it to your YouTube channel. So just upload to your YouTube channel what you're already doing, the training that you're already sharing with people. And then YouTube is just going to kind of be a reference for you so that you can reshare that so that you're not constantly having to repeat yourself. Will you redo that content? Will it get better and more improved and evolve? Absolutely. And when that time comes, you'll post another video. It doesn't mean you have to delete the old one. Okay. Back in the day when I would upload videos, I literally just did it so that I could share it with my team. And I would go back and be like, oh my gosh, that got like 1,000 views. And I had no freaking idea. And had I known, I definitely would have pursued that more, but I didn't even know. So definitely keep track of it too. You never know what might get your channel out there. Okay. Lastly is going to be, or not lastly, but another thing is that I would really suggest that you find a system that works for you. Again, I'm going to dive deeper into that in another segment, but I really just find a system that you can actually work. So what's great if you want to make labels and have them in your calendar all over like Monday I do this, and then flip page, Tuesday, this is what we're doing. Or you might be more of a big list kind of person, or you might just use Amy or Google Docs, your calendar. There's so many different ways to keep yourself on track, but the main thing is going to be finding a system that you're actually going to use. That's going to be the best system for you, and just doing that consistently. Another big tip would be to track your numbers daily. Again, I'll go into that a little bit more. For the most part, by tracking your numbers daily, it's going to really help you to see if you need to kick it up a gear, or if maybe there's another consultant in there who needs some extra shout out because you've doubled your numbers. Okay, so by tracking numbers daily, that's really going to help kill the anxiety of the unknown. And while you're tracking your numbers, also be tracking your expenses. So if you do use the Zoom, if you do use Calendly, if you start making your postcards, if you go to the post office, if you make samples, if you have some type of fee for Amy, which you do after a while, or if you're using Canva to create your postcards, all that stuff that you use to run your business is a tax write-off. And if you get in the habit of tracking that now, you're gonna really thank yourself when you're a superstar director and your numbers are a lot bigger and you got more expenses, but also it's not that big of a deal because you're just adding a little bit more at a time. Okay, so it's easier to take a couple bites at a time than it is to devour an entire cake at one time. So definitely be finding a system that's going to help you to track your expenses. And like I said earlier, my last tip would be just to share how you're working your business with your team, because by you sharing just what you're doing, it's going to show them how to go the way. You're going to show the way and go the way, and it's going to help them to show the way and go the way as well. All right, so again, congratulations on promoting to director. I couldn't be more proud of you. I'm here for any questions that you have, and do stay tuned for the next trainings that might dive a little bit deeper into some of the topics that we touched on, or go about on your merry way and just keep running your business like you're doing, because you're doing a great job. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later.